What's up, guys? All right, so today we're going to be comparing two pistols, straight up versus, and one of these you all, or a lot of you all, love. I've seen it in the comment section when I made a video talking about how it was outdated, and the other one I don't think ever caught on. I'm not sure why, because in my opinion the other one gives more option and has a better trigger and is a better pistol, but I've never shot them side by side, so that may change. It may have a complete turnaround on me because I don't have much time behind this one, which is the CZ P10S, and we're going to compare it to the Glock 26 Gen 5. Now, both these, I'll give you a comparison of size right here. I'll blunt them up to the end. The CZ is just a little bit longer and a little bit taller, especially with the way this back strap hangs down. But the reason that back strap hangs down is because when you put the magazine in it, it flush fits with the back of it, and that kind of gives you a ramp to load the magazine with. Whereas when the Glock goes in, the magazine still sits flush, but you just don't really have that ramp. I can only get 2 fingers on the Glock with the magazine in it, and with the CZ, I can get about 3 or 2.5. I mean, not 3, but about 2.5. The CZ actually feels more comfortable in the hand. Now, that don't mean it's going to be more comfortable to actually shoot, because I did shoot both these the other day, and I was a little bit surprised. We're going to see what my thoughts are today. But overall, the Glock is a little bit smaller, and they're both basically the same width. The CZ is a little tapered on the side, but they're essentially the same width. As far as stippling goes, the CZ might have it by just a little bit. The Glock has decent stippling, but the CZ is a little bit better in my opinion. And I can hit the mag release a little bit better on the CZ than I can the Glock, just because of how small this gun is. I know these grips don't look that much bigger or that much different, but this one has this little swoop right here, and it feels like it locks into my hand better than the Glock. The Glock's grip definitely feels chunkier, and I believe it is. If you look right here at how wide this is and how wide this is, the Glock grip is actually chunkier than the CZ grip, and the CZ, just in my opinion, feels better in your hand. Again, the mag release on the later CZ, now the early CZs, I've got one of the very first CZ P10Cs that ever came out, and I changed that mag release because it was horrible, but they have since updated to this mag release right here. Glock's mag release, we all know how they are, but I can't really hit that without changing my grip much. And with the CZ, I don't even have to change my grip at all. Now, as far as the slide goes, the CZ is so smooth. I don't know how CZ does their pistols and gets their polymer pistols this smooth, but that slide is just like butter. Glock, you can tell it's not as smooth as the CZ. You can just hear it as we're racking the slide. If I was going to conceal carry these, I guess I would definitely have to give the edge to the Glock just because it's a little bit shorter. It probably has a little better reputation because it's been around much longer than the CZ has, but the CZ does have a reputation for great triggers. So let's just take a look at that right now. All right, you have your normal Glock trigger. It feels pretty squishy, going up just like all Glock triggers do. You hit that wall, about 5 pounds later, you feel a break. Your reset is right there. It's not crazy short, but it's not crazy long. This is just your standard ordinary Glock triggers. They pretty much all feel about the same. Now, if we take the CZ and you have some take up right here, it's a little bit longer take up, but it's smoother. The Glock feels like it's got some drag to it. Most Glocks do feel that way. This is way smoother. When you hit that wall, it breaks. If I remember correctly, this one breaks around 4 pounds, where the Glock breaks around 5 pounds. But now the reset is right there. The reset on the CZ is definitely shorter than the reset on the Glock, and the trigger just overall feels better. Now let's take a look at something I think is a big pro before we shoot it. We'll shoot it right after this. But the CZ comes with metal sights. You can buy these in optic cuts. But I bought an early one and they didn't have the optic cut one whenever I bought mine, or I would have got an optic cut, of course. But it has metal sights and it comes with a tritium front with that orange ring around it. Glock, well, this one has Ameriglow sights, but they come standard with plastic sights, just normal plastic sights. Now these are very compatible, except it has rear night sights as well to what comes stock on the CZ. $100 more ish versus you get it right on the gun. And if I'm not mistaken, the CZ P10S is cheaper than the Glock 26. The gnats over here are still horrible. It's cheaper. So not only are you in it for a cheaper gun, then you got to spend extra to actually make the sights even comparable. But enough talking, let's get to shooting. There's one more thing I do want to look at before we do it. So I always talk about this, so I try to remember. Ambidextrous. You can swap the magazine release on this, but you don't have it on both sides. But you do have on the Gen 5s a slide release that is ambidextrous. On the CZ, I believe you can swap the magazine release the same way. It does not have a left-hand one, and it has these huge slide release on both sides. All right, let's put a few let's put my ears on. I keep these eyes on because the gnats are so bad. But let's put my ears on. We'll put about 10 rounds through each. That's one more thing. The Glock comes standard with a 10-round magazine, and the CZ comes standard with a 12-round magazine. That's part of where the length of the extra length of the grip comes from, but you do get a couple extra rounds in the CZ magazine. Okay, guys, first up, Glock 26, Gen 5. Now the Glock 26 at 10 yards, the recoil was really manageable, and it was very accurate at 10 yards for open sights. I've not trained as much with open sights lately, so it's a little bit harder for me to keep on the open sights because I use optics so much now. I can still use open sights and I can make hits with it, but I get a little blurry with that, and it's because I have a little bit of astigmatism. I've had people call me out saying, hey, shoot with both eyes open, and I normally do it, especially if I'm shooting with an optic, but it's a little bit easier with me with my astigmatism. It's a little bit worse in my left eye, so if I close one eye, I can focus a little bit better on that front dot, and I don't lose it as bad. So let's get the CZ, see how it feels. All right, CZ P10S, about 10 yards. Not that we're checking accuracy. I will say it was a lot easier for the Glock 26 to drop the slide using the slide stop. Okay, now to me, the CZ does feel like it has more recoil. And that surprised me. And I said something about something that would surprise you, me earlier in the video, or it surprised me the other day when I did reviews of each of these individually. I did notice that in that video because I shot these back to back. The Glock 26 does feel to be less snappy than the CZ. Even though I can get a better grip on the CZ does feel a little bit more pointable to me. The sights are there better than the Glock is, just pulling it up. And I do contribute that so I can get a little bit better grip on the gun. I do like the way this beaver tail locks into my hand better than the Glock. But like I said, it does feel a little bit more snappy. Not uncontrollable, but it is noticeable if you shoot them both back to back. Okay guys, so we're going to put a shoot and see up at 10 yards, and we're going to check the accuracy of these pistols. We're going to put about 5 rounds through each of them, just see how well I can shoot them, and I'll tell you which one I can shoot better. But I do want to tell you, there is one thing I have to give a huge nod to the CZ over the Glock, and that is it has an accessory rail, and the 26 does not. I don't carry pistols that I can't put lights on. I just like a light on my pistol. It makes things a little bit easier in stressful situations than trying to get your pistol out and a light out of your pocket. So I just prefer to have it all in one package. And with this one, you got to put some kind of crazy Streamlight TLR6 on it that has like 100 lumens. Whereas this one, you could probably fit a TLR7A or a TLR7A sub. And I give a huge nod to that. But let's put up a shoot and see what we can do. At least see what I can do. Okay guys, we're at 10 yards. We're going to do the Glock 26 first. see what we can get with it. Okay, so not too shabby. I was better with this than I was a CR920, definitely. This was my last shot. I threw it low. I guess I got excited. And this was the first 4. So at 10 yards, you know, not terrible. I can definitely handle that. That's pretty good shooting out of a little bitty pistol like that. So let me throw up another one. We'll see what the CZ P10C can do. Okay, guys, same thing. CZ P10C, 10 yards. See what we got. Okay. Probably not quite as good as the Glock, but not horrible. I did pull this one left, but I was consistently left, and it just kind of took 4 out right here, and then had one up here, so I was a little low, a little left. That was definitely me and not the pistol. It is what it is. So what we're going to do now is move it back to 40, 42 yards, see if we can hit that still or how many times we can hit that still at 10 rounds. But with the accuracy test, I definitely did better with the Glock, but the CZ is definitely good enough for concealed carry in my opinion. Okay guys, about 40 yards. We'll do the 26 first and see how many times we can hit that steel plate, a little bit smaller than torso at 40 yards. Again, dropping the slide on the Glock is way easier with the slide release or slide stop, whichever way you want to call it, than the CZ actually is. Okay, so I think I hit it 7 times. I'm pretty sure I hit it every time but 3. So not too bad with open sights from a little 3-inch pistol. Definitely able to make hits at 40 yards with this little thing, and it's just pretty accurate for a little pistol. Now let's do the CZ. All right, guys, CZ 40 yards, 124 grain blazer. All right, guys, so 5 out of 10 with this, I believe it was. Not as good as the Glock, definitely. I think this feels better in the hand, but what do I think about both of them compared side by side? Let me tell you that here in just a minute. All right, guys, final thoughts time. So if I was only going to purchase one of these two, which one would it be? Now, I give a big nod to the CZ because it has a pick rail, and I love lights on my pistols. That's just how I carry them. Everything I carry has a light on it. But I shoot the Glock way better. You've seen it in the accuracy test, and you heard it hit the steel more than you did the CZ. And let me tell you right now, if you're going to pick a pistol out of 2 pistols, and you shoot one better than you do the other, that is the main function of a pistol, is to go bang and hit your target. So I would pick the 26. Going into this video with just the way the gun feels in your hand, I would have bet money that I would have picked the CZ. But after shooting them side by side, feeling how the Glock has less recoil, seeing that I can shoot it more accurately and make more hits at 40 yards with the Glock, I would pick the Glock over the CZ all day long. Now, I'm not knocking the CZ. The CZ's a great gun. I've not had any issues out of this, no malfunctions. I've not had any malfunctions out of the 26 either. Glocks just run. But there again, if you shoot one gun better than you do another gun, that is probably the gun you should purchase. And if you're thinking about carrying a gun and you shoot one better than the other, you should probably carry that gun over the other one. Mainly because you are responsible for that bullet until it stops. So you want to give yourself the best chance to make accurate hits that you possibly can. So for me, the clear winner is the Glock 26. Going into this video, I didn't think that would be the case. This gun felt better in the hand, but after shooting them both side by side, the Glock is the one I would pick all day long, every day. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. I appreciate y'all watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. I love you guys. We'll see you next time.